are you even hungry? So if you would have worked with me probably in the last 4 to 5 years, I would have been all about you have to eat 5 to 6 meals a day, and you have to eat them within 2 to 3 hours of each other, and or you're just gonna die. I really thought that. And that was for a long time. That was what fitness professionals preached. We were like 5 to 6 meals. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. And then over the course of the last 2 years, I've been really working to reset my hormones. And one of the things that was out of whack with me was my leptin levels and my insulin levels. And both of those hormones were telling my body to store fat, to just store anything I eat was to store it. And so when we started to kind of peel back the layers of what was going on, I was taking in too much calories. I was eating great foods, right? I wasn't, I wasn't eating ho-hos and all of that stuff. I was eating too much great food for what my body needed, right? So I was putting all this fuel into a furnace that my body wasn't burning. So the furnace said, stack that wood over to the side. And if you're a woman over 40, maybe your body is like, stack that wood over to the side. And you're like, Lord, I want the stack gone. So I was that girl, Lord, I want the stack gone. So several things I did, but one of the things I had to do was to really learn how to understand hunger. And hunger is, if we say on a scale of 1 to 10, right? 1 is you will eat your hand. 10 is, oh my God, I gotta unbutton my pants because I've had too much food. And so we wanna find that sweet spot between like 5 and a 7, right? We wanna be like 7, be like, you know what? I'm not hungry, but I'm eating because, in my instance, I'm eating because I'm about to go teach a class for a few hours. And if I don't eat now, I'm not gonna have another meal till I'm done teaching class. Or I'm about to get on a plane and I need to have food because they don't feed you on planes. Or I'm about to get on the road and be running around doing errands, right? So that's like a 7, why I would eat at a 7. At a 5 is like, you know what? This is a great time to eat. Like I'm not starving and I can make good decisions. We all know that hunger zone, like between 1 and 4, where you're just like, if it's not nailed down, you're not making decisions. You're just in a fight or flight mode. You're like, what can I have like right now? Like I need to eat it. So that's when, you're driving down the road and there's not a place in the US that you can drive down and there not be something fast. Like there's a Starbucks, there's a McDonald's, there's a Burger King, there's a Wendy's, there's a Chipotle, there's a something. There's always food for us to like keep us in mind. Like, yeah, I should eat, and I'll just grab that. So what I'm challenging you to do is to start to recognize when you are truly hungry versus when you've trained your body to eat. I trained my body to eat. I would eat at 7. I would eat at 10:30. I would eat at 2. I would eat at 4. I would eat at 7. Like I trained my body to eat that way. When I started to kind of like deconstruct my eating, I started to push back my breakfast, right? Many people talk about intermittent fasting, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. We'll definitely go down that rabbit hole, but I started to intermittent fast. So it was like I would push back my breakfast. So it was a way for me to help my body to start to recognize hunger, to start to get my leptin levels back in check so that it really could signal when I was truly full and when my brain, when my actually was truly full versus what my leptin levels were telling my brain that if I was full or not. So I started by pushing my, instead of 7, I started eating at 8. And then I would ask myself at 8, am I hungry, right? Am I 5 or 7? And if I wasn't, I would be like, all right, let me see if I can go another 30 minutes. So it was me creating these experiments of when I should eat. And I did that for every single time my normal meal time was. So I challenge you to do the same thing. The reason why I had to space at my breakfast, space at my lunch, is that my body needed to understand hunger and I needed to rest and digest, right? So other than hormones, I also had some gut issues. And so I needed to teach my stomach how to like empty before I filled it back up. And I wasn't giving myself enough time to digest the foods I was eating. So that's what my challenge for you is, you know, instead of saying I have to get in 5 or 6 meals, like now I eat 3 or 4 meals a day. And it's based on, am I hungry? What does my day look like, right? You know, there's some people, you know, I have some clients, they get up at 4 a.m. and they're gone all day. So yeah, they're probably getting way more than my client that's an office worker who rolls in around 9 and leaves at 5, right? And she's not up at all crazy, and she's working out at night, so she's not working out at all working all crazy hours. So I think, you know, when I tell most of my clients, you know, go with 3 to 5 meals a day, right? See how you feel with that. Because if you're eating to hit a food quota, then we have to have a conversation, because maybe some of your meals earlier in the day can be a little fuller, a little bit more nutrient dense than your later meals. So my cue today is start to figure out when you're hungry, and it starts by, you know, asking yourself the question, are you hungry or are you eating because you think you should eat? All right, questions, comments, concerns, do me a favor, hit me up in the comments or shoot me a DM.